It was disaster that should never have happened.
We never saw injuries like that.
Secrecy clothed the actual doings of that night.
Why was the bombing of Bari harbour such a disaster? Why did people with negligible injuries mysteriously begin to die? Why did Eisenhower and Churchill decide to cover up the story, making the Bari disaster one of the most secret events of the Second World War? The Pearl Harbor of the Mediterranean began when 105 Luftwaffe Junkers planes were launched against Bari Harbour, at that time under British control. It was the evening of the 2nd of December, 1943. The German air raid took the Allied defence completely by surprise.
The harbour was lit up.
The moment I thought they were shooting stars come very close. That's what it appeared like. And 3 came, one after the other.
The most important harbour supplying the 8th Army during the Italian campaign was impaired for 3 weeks. It was a huge blow for the Allied forces.
It just looked as if everything that had happened there had been swept under the carpet.
1,000 people lost their lives. But that wasn't the end of the story. The tragedy was only beginning.
There was this cloud of secrecy.
Secrecy clothed the actual doings of that night.
We were sworn to secrecy.
Eisenhower and Churchill initiated a cover-up. The attack on Bari Harbour was one of the most secret events of the war in Italy. The Bari disaster could also have had even greater consequences for the civilians. Doctors began to treat the wounded. But something strange was happening.
The medical staff were very perplexed by their symptoms.
We'd never seen anything like this.
Era lì nudo, sotto lenzuola, niente, non c'aveva nessun graffio.
Things were not normal.
E la pelle era tutta marron diventata.
And these were rather large blisters, you know.
Victims began dying.
Come mai queste persone stanno morendo?
What was going on?
They themselves didn't really know what to do.
Yet rumours were going around.
Were they just rumours? What do these pictures mean? Were the Germans using new and terrible weapons? A few days later, the name of an American ship began to circulate. It was underlined in official documents. The John Harvey. Why? What was this ship carrying? Why was it in Italy? What is the secret of this ship? This ship. Using original documents, we'll retrace the most successful German air raid in the Mediterranean. We'll follow the Allied convoy with its ultra documents and the reconnaissance messages. We will relive the story of men that risked their lives during the rescue operations, and the story of a man that has waited 25 years to unveil the tragedy, collecting memories that seemed lost. We'll relive the drama of the Bari civilians and of the Italian seamen of the Barletta. We'll discover the results of the secret board of inquiry established by Eisenhower, the Bari Report. We will dip into the nightmare of weapons that most frightened the civilians during the war. Chemical weapons, biological weapons, discussing how and when they could have been used, and when and if they were used. Discover how a new treatment against cancer rose from the ashes of this disaster. And in the end, we will also discover the secret link between Bari and D-Day in Normandy.